Hey y'all, what's going on? I am back. BarbMeetsWorld. We are back with my recap and review for the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 8, Episode 9. Hard Conversations. Hard Conversations is the title, y'all. I know that this video is coming up kind of at a random time. I usually don't go live this late. It's about to be, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, but I didn't want to wait another day to get up here. So it will be great if I get some people in here, but if not, it's all good too. Because like I said, this is very impromptu. So, I don't really expect too many people to show up at a moment's notice. But yeah, y'all. Don't forget when you do come into the room to hit that like button. Make sure that you are also subscribed to the channel. Turn on your notifications bell so you know every time I upload. Check the description box below for all pertinent information. My socials are scrolling along the bottom of the screen as well. So go ahead and follow me over there. And let's get into this review, shall we? Y'all, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. I was utterly bored last night watching, not even just across the board, between this show and Married to Medicine. Also, both shows really did not do anything for me last night, but I got to come through, with the commentary for you guys. So that is why we are here. And as always, I will try to make up for their shortcomings. But honestly, I don't feel like I'm going to be up here very long because the episode really was not giving anything. It was just boring to me. Y'all let me know what you think of the episode in the comments below. Shout out to the replay gang. Okay. But yeah, episode 9, Karen and Ray, they were sitting outside. She was upset with him for rushing her off the phone earlier, I guess that day. But in the end, he apologizes. So that's cool. They're cool. Everything is good. She then starts talking about the 5% calcium buildup that we heard about earlier in the season around her carotid arteries or whatever. So there's nothing they can do to get rid of the 5%, but we can go ahead and do what we need to do so that 5% doesn't turn into 6% and so on and so forth. So she is taking measures to do that. And at the same time, she also discusses with him about her upcoming PAVE luncheon. We heard when she was in Austin that there will be an upcoming PAVE event. So that came as no surprise. She wants everything to go well, of course, but we know that this is Housewives and things like that don't always happen. So good energy around her that she wants. Yeah, y'all, that was honestly it for that episode, or gosh, for that scene. It just wasn't giving. I'm sorry. Hey, Janet. See, somebody did catch me. Even though, like I said, I'm up here at a random time. I'm glad you caught me, Janet. I feel special. But yeah, y'all. Mia, Gordon, Robyn, Juan, they all go on like a double date. They're doing like a double date cooking class, which was cool or whatever. I don't feel like Robyn cooks. She just doesn't strike me as somebody who'd be throwing down in the kitchen or anything like that. Maybe that is me speaking from a place of she just be acting so lackluster in every other facet of life. I feel like at this point, it's just I don't know what, but she just Robyn to me. Like, not good, not bad, just Robyn. So Mia and Gordon got there first, of course, because I guess Mia set this up. And so on their way in, Juan he steps away, I guess, and takes a call. And y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know in the chat. What did you hear Juan say? Did he say, "Hey, Dave," or "Hey, babe, or baby," whatever? I feel like I had heard "Hey, baby," but then I was like, maybe it was just my subconscious trying to like tell me like, nah, this he wouldn't come on here saying that, like, because then I heard Dave too. But again, maybe that was just me, my mind telling me like, no, he couldn't be that crazy. He wouldn't come up here talking about some "Hey, baby." Like, no, there's no way. So y'all please let me know what you heard him say. Regardless, he's been having a hard time, I guess, finding a new job, a new coaching job. So he was on the phone pleading to get hooked up with this assistant coach job or whatever. We do know that at this time he had, or not at this time, I don't know how many months he has now, but I think we're coming up on that 15 months. Robyn said earlier on this season that he was going to be getting paid for 15 months because that's how much time he had on his contract. So they're not in a bind financially yet, but I'm going to just leave the word "yet" out there lingering on my tongue. So don't hold y'all's breath. I don't wish that on them, obviously, by any means. There's children in the house. Like, of course, I'm not that crazy. I'm not that mean, y'all. But I don't know. Maybe it's time to look into another profession. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe something a little bit more low key. Anyway, so inside, we also we know that Mia ain't got her hired help is hired no more. So Gordon has been stepping up more to feed the household. Basically, they were making some creamy scampi pasta. Robyn can't even crack eggs right, y'all. Like she just lacks. She just be lacking. She be lacking in a lot of departments, okay? And that might sound mean, but I feel like I'm entitled to being able to say that because it's just, she just looks like a woe is me, like a big old, in quotes, woe is me. That's what I see when I look at her. So wasn't surprised there either. And honestly, at this point in time, actually, I'll get to that in a second. Glow 30. It's a facial salon. She's been going there for about 10 years plus. And apparently they were going to start franchising out locations. So she jumped right on the opportunity. She said that it was not because he got fired. She said that this was just a great opportunity nonetheless. Of course, at the same time, this does kind of go hand in hand with her new mindset of, hey, we need to diversify, our income streams. We need to not be so reliant on just one stream of income over here, because obviously, as we can see, that ish can get taken at the drop of a time. So basically, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I do agree with her on that, but I would be lying to y'all right now if I said I don't feel like I would be lying if I said I didn't feel like she was placing more emphasis on it right now, because given the situation, she has Robyn has a scarcity like mindset. And I say that because she actually has mentioned or spoken on that. I feel like in the past, where it's like, because they were, at rock bottom at one point, they had gotten all their money lost, stolen, and all that, all their financial issues that they had some years ago, whatever, back in the day, that she has so much PTSD from that, I feel like. And I feel like she was just beginning to get to a point where she could kind of relax a little bit and kind of enjoy the fruits of her labor over these last couple of years. She got back in better financial standing. She had her little hat, whatever business, like she on show, like things were kind of starting to go better for them, I feel like, financially. And When I tell you this man is the constant main source of stress in her life, I mean it. Because had he not, again, nothing, everything's unfounded right now. I'm not saying he did or didn't do any actions that played a part in him getting, let go. I'm not saying that. I'm just speaking again. Just roll with me, y'all. But it honestly, Robyn is not my favorite person on the show by any means. Y'all, if you watch my videos, you already know that. But it definitely pisses me off more when I look on over there at him and I'm like, I just feel like had he made better choices at some point within the last year or so, I don't know. I just feel like they wouldn't be in this situation financially. And it just kind of sucks. It kind of sucks to know that she was potentially maybe not feeling like, oh man, I don't need to, I can actually, they just bought this, they just moved into their house and everything. Like things were going in her favor and now they're not. And I just feel like what I'm trying to say is she would be a lot better off in life without him. That's all I'm trying to say, basically. I have to go back and look because I thought I heard. Okay, thank you. I thought I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell if I heard Dave or freaking baby. I need to go back to Janet, but thank you for letting me know I'm not crazy. And at the same time, I wouldn't necessarily be taking all this business advice from, Mia and Gordon right now, but I digress. Whatever. I'm really grasping for straws right now, trying to give y'all something. Gordon asked how the Austin trip was because Mia hadn't really discussed a whole bunch of details with him about it. And Robyn, she of course has to let us know, or let Mia know, I should say, that Juan doesn't really like or understand female drama. So Juan doesn't understand how to be a better husband, if you ask me, but whatever. Jesus. And I was not mad at Mia in this scene though, because she asked the questions that we were thinking. The whole credit card, she flew down here, hotel room, all that whole thing has always smelled like a bunch of bullshit since the beginning. So Mia was simply asking the questions we as viewers have been wanting to ask / say, whatever. So she's like, so this story sounds crazy. Like, can you tell me what happened? Like, did you really put your credit card, in the thing? Like, like, give me the real, please. And like the classic Juan that he is, he immediately hits her with the whole, I mean, what is there to tell? You probably already read all about it. Like, what is there? What do I need to say? Basically what I'm trying to say right now, sir, is that your story sounds fraudulent and we're not buying it. Like, come on now. I can't, and I won't. So I'm not even angry right now. I'm not even worked up because, like I told you guys earlier in the season, I'm not going to get worked up about stuff that people obviously don't care about. And by people in this situation, I mean Robyn. If that story is good enough for her, then it's good enough for me. So he does actually start talking about the whole how the girl lost her purse or wallet at the casino and how he played Captain Save-A-Ho by, paying for her room and she got him or whatever. And Mia's like, you did it over phone, right? Like, because you can do that over the phone. Like, you don't need to go all the way down there in person and meet the girl just to do that. If you really were trying to just help her platonically, then you could have just given that over the phone. / you could have booked it over the phone. Like, there's multiple ways this could have been done other than him taking himself down there and allegedly getting the room in person or whatever, putting his car down in person. Again, BS, y'all. And he's like, yeah, I went down there. And it's just like, clearly we're not going to get anywhere with this. So Mia tries to wrap it up in a nice little bow by telling him, like, so next time, and he's, ain't no next time. I'm a grown man. I made a mistake. Yeah, okay, whatever. I couldn't have conversations with him. If I was friends with her or whatever, like, it would be a night. I wouldn't even get invested into all of this because it would infuriate me so bad to see my friend freaking stuck on stupid. Like, I couldn't. I would keep it real cute. We would never be on a double date if it was me. We would never be on. It would be solely group things. And I would keep it very, very cordial. And that's it. Because he doesn't seem like a person that I would have much in common with. And that's because I like to lead my life honestly. Then somehow Mia brought up the situation with the attorney and all that. And I mean, I understand how, that could be a lot. Like, that's a heavy situation to have occurred in your life. But at the same time, if I was her and y'all could, think of me as a heartless person, you got one time to do me wrong in life. Now that goes for whoever. Like, you got one time to do me over, and I'm good on that. So his actions, like, none of that is a reflection. If things went down the way that she says they did and all that, then his actions were his actions at the end of the day. You did nothing wrong by protecting yourself and going after, what you were owed. And to, I don't know who it was that said it, but to whoever brought it up, this is probably something that man had done, to multiple people or whatever. And I'm also someone who likes to go by that logic in situations like this too, where it's like, usually if somebody's bold enough to do you over real good like that, yeah, it's usually not the first time. It's just probably the first time that they've been caught. That's I don't know. That's just what I've always gone by. But anywho, they eat pasta and it's good. Moving on. Wendy and her mom. Wendy and her mom. First of all, I guess, because I had started Wendy's book, but I have not finished it still, and I need to, amongst other books. Oh gosh. But I feel like she might have mentioned that she had a brother in there, but I guess I forgot or whatever, because I was like, oh, that's her younger brother right there. Oh, okay. Anyway, we usually only really hear about her sister, so it was just like, oh wait, she has a brother that's sitting right there. Okay. And I can't lie to you guys, when we got the scene, I low-key was thinking back to when, I think it was her first season, Wendy's, when she was, she brought up the whole, there being much emphasis on certain career choices and stuff like that. And I just thought about that in this moment because her brother had said that he was studying theater, I think, with a focus in acting, if I'm not mistaken. So I was just like, I wonder if how, the mom and stuff have received that when he said that or whatever. I don't have anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it, but just a thought that I had. She also takes this time, like I said, to check in with her mom, which at this point, the last time we had heard anything about her mom, she was having that medical emergency when they were in Austin. And so now she lets us know that she's been recuperating. It was an elective surgery, kind of gone wrong, I guess, if you will. She wasn't actually sick. It was just like complications from whatever elective surgery it was. So of course we got to get into it. Wendy's like, okay, so she tells her mom, according to Aneka, she called Lebe and said something along the lines of a shrine. Like, is this ringing a bell, mom? Like, is that something you said? And her mom, first of all, finds it hilarious. And she's like, she spoke to Ivy. She was informed that they had a falling out. Or that's what Wendy says. And Wendy's mom, she, on one hand, she sees Lebe as like a daughter and all this. And she's like, what I told her was, it's hard to make a friend, but very easy to make an enemy. And that's the only reason why, she called her. And the only shrine she knows is the St. Jude Shrine in downtown Baltimore. Wendy doesn't like say really anything. If I can remember, she doesn't really say anything back, yay or nay. But at this point, I'm like, the story's not really adding up on either side for me, if I'm being 100% honest to you all. I feel like, I'm not going to say I feel like her mom is like straight up lying, because I mean, she did say that she spoke to her. I just feel like maybe there were some other words that she didn't quite say right now in this scene, or some other phrases or something that she may have inserted in there. But at this point in time, I'm over the whole entire thing. I have been over the entire thing. And because one, we're the unknown side is Lebe, and we're not going to get anything from her as far as I know, because one, her and Ivy, they're falling out currently, and I haven't seen her say anything in the blogs or anything like that. So we're never going to get that piece. And actually, I'm okay with that. And I don't see why we need to keep bringing up somebody who's not even on the show. And yeah, like, I'm just kind of really over it at this point, because if I sit here and focus on it more, then I'm really just going to not watch this show anymore, because it's one of the many reasons why it's become very unenjoyable right now. But yeah, so I know Wendy and Aneka are supposed to have a sit down at some point. I don't think that that's next week. So we will be revisiting it again. This is not the last that we're going to be hearing of it, but I don't know. There's too many holes in it that I don't even care to fill in. It sounds ridiculous to me. Gizelle and Grace, they have a cute little mommy-daughter self-defense class day, because, Grace is going off to school, FAMU. In the end, we see Gizelle is actually the one that needs to get her weight up, if you ask me. And of course, she has mixed emotions, being as though her firstborn is going off to college. Why did we need to get a random phone call up in there to Jason? I don't know, but whatever, that was their scene. Candiace and Aneka also during this episode had their first one-on-ones, thanks to Aneka inviting Candiace out. Before they get to the restaurant, though, Candiace calls her mom and she tells her that she had her first mammogram, and upon doing so, the images produced they showed that she has 2 lumps. They showed up on the scan. Apparently it's only like lymph nodes or whatever, But she's like, I still don't feel comfortable just kind of letting them be, knowing that they could grow to be like cancerous. Like, we're just supposed to just let them be and monitor them. Like, that sounds kind of ass backwards to me. I totally would be feeling the same exact way as her. If I was her, I would continue to advocate for myself. I would get, if any, and then at the end of the day, if you still don't feel good about it, if you're still not getting the results that you want, then you need to go ahead and get a second opinion / you need to go somewhere else to get to see another doctor. Because maybe that's standard procedures in some facilities and whatever, but I don't know. Like, I would be the same way right now. I would be like, can we just go ahead and remove them now so that we could just be done with it? Like, I don't need to be walking on eggshells and thinking, every day of my life for the rest of my life now until something happens that it could be growing and I just don't know, or like there's no reason to prolong that, if you ask me, whether they be seemingly benign at this point or not. But I have a business degree and not a medical degree, so I'll leave that between her and the doctors. But I totally understood what she was saying in this moment. So they meet at Miss Toya's, which is apparently real good. And I'm actually headed to DC in about 2 weeks. So I think I will actually ride on up there. Actually, they have one in Potomac, and then I seen they have another location in DC. So I'm going to hit up that one. And then also I see they have another restaurant, a Creole kitchen. And y'all know how I feel. Y'all know how I feel about my Creole food. So I might just have to hit up both of them. I will let you guys know when I get back what I think. But they meet there, and they're both obviously aware that each of them has, situations with the other ladies. Wendy or Nneka has her issues with Wendy, and Candiace and Robyn have their issues between them right now. So going into this situation, Candiace, of course, was like, I don't want to make Wendy feel any type of way. I don't want her, to feel like I'm undermining her or whatever. So she's being very, very purposeful about the way that she, I guess, goes about forming this relationship with Nneka. And then we got Nneka over here that is trying to still sit here and act like she never intended to have the conversation about Wendy in a group setting. And I'm sitting here telling you guys right now, I think that is a bold-faced lie. The way she came on there with that energy, and the fact that we haven't seen her have anything else going on as far as storyline since coming on there and saying that with so much chest, tells me that that's BS, and that you had all intentions of bringing that right straight in front of the camera since you got the call that she was going to be on the show. Actually, before you were going to be on the show. I'm sure this was your means of getting on the show. Like, come on now. You can't tell me otherwise. And I wonder if anybody's in here, because y'all, I think I said the other day, I've been a lot more vocal in the comment sections under certain posts and stuff on Instagram, Facebook and stuff, and these different groups and stuff that want to get up here and spread false freaking just completely false. And I understand that everybody is entitled to their own feelings, opinions, all that. We all have our own minds, and we all are viewing these shows from our own eyes. But the way people be in comments straight up sounding psychotic, literally, people will make up the craziest things to prove their points. And I almost want to share my screen and show you guys some of the stuff. Let's see. Does anybody in here watch Watch What Happens live sometimes after the episode? Sometimes I will, if I don't just change the channel right away. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm still like scrolling my phone and stuff when these episodes go off. And then other times, wait. Ooh, the Brooke Ashley, she's back to reviewing this show too. I'm gonna have to watch her video after this. Shout out to Brooke Ashley. Love her content. But like I was saying, people have been, I guess, trying to think that they was eating me up in these comments on Bravo's Watch What Happens live segment with freaking Gizelle. She was on there last night, and Andy had asked her a question about why she doesn't want to bury the hatchet with Wendy and Candiace. I wonder if can I play this? Oh, I don't want to get in trouble. I wish I could play this though. It's like a minute long. I don't know if I can play this. So I'm not going to. But basically, she says that she can. When asked that question, she's like, well, basically, Gizelle Bryant says Karen Huger, Ashley Darby, and Sharice Jackson-Jordon are able to have adult conversations with her where they listen to one another and hash things out. She adds that they're accountable for everything that they've done to her and calls herself Miss Apology in her conflicts with the women. Gizelle explains that Karen, Ashley, and Sharice are able to receive her apologies so that they can move forward in their friendships, but it doesn't work like that with Wendy, Osefo, and Candiace Dillard-Bassett. Y'all, in my comment, or what I commented under that was, this can't be real. Gizelle has never been accountable for anything she has said or done in all 8 seasons. Well, I mean, 220, I don't know how people down, thumbs downed it, but at least 227 people agree with me. So I can't be that crazy, y'all. Yup. Or what? How many times are you going to bring that up? That was so last season. Are you obsessed with Candiace and Chris or something? Because that is what it's giving. She went further and further. Lies. It's literally on camera of her apologizing to the girl multiple times. Y'all just don't like her. What? You can actually see it on the show that Gizelle has apologized countless of times. LOL. Like, really, just Google it and come back and say that it's never happened so you can expose yourself as mindlessly biased. I'm mindlessly biased, y'all. So y'all might as well just log off right now. Apparently, I'm just mindlessly biased because I said Gizelle is full of it, and she is the one that has said, she said accountability on this season, on these last couple episodes, more times than I can count right now. And every single time she has said that, y'all, I have to like look around me to make sure I'm like Ashton Kutcher isn't going to jump out and say punked, because she can't be serious. Just like in this scene, Aneka couldn't be serious in saying that she never intended to have that conversation in a group setting. I wish y'all could see my face right now. Anyway. And Candiace is like, you called her a BITC. Like what are you talking about? And Aneka's response was, well, she called me a crackhead, and you so is that cool? Like, is that okay? Like, come on now. Can't fight fire with fire. I don't care that Wendy called her a crackhead. I mean, at the moment, I didn't really understand it because, yeah, like I just didn't understand exactly why she said it, but I didn't care that she said it because, just as Candiace said, by this point in time, you had already came at Wendy low-key kind of like sideways, in my opinion. So if you come at me sideways, anything beyond, any energy that I meet you after that is just going to be what it's going to be. Y'all might think that's childish. Y'all might think that, I need to grow up, or that's not how you handle adult matters. I don't care. I don't care at all, because how she came is not cool. And it screamed, I'm trying to make this a moment. It screamed all of that. And I just wasn't here for it. And I'm not understanding why Aneka seems to think that her and Candiace would be like the fastest, bestest of friends in the event that, or should her and Wendy not had, their spat and everything. And I'm here to tell her that that's not a guarantee that y'all would have been fast and good friends, if you ask me, because y'all, like, clearly y'all don't view situations the same. And your behavior just kind of, I don't know. I don't see y'all being friends like that, despite the situation. Like, I still don't see it. And production is shady too, trying to bring up all of Candiace's moments, calling people bitchs. Another time, y'all, I don't always agree with everything Candiace does or Wendy or whatever. But what I also don't agree with, even more of that, even beyond that, is the treatment of certain cast members on this show. So it's honestly a lot of the viewers, just like I was reading you guys those replies underneath my comment about that Gizelle little clip. Those are the types of people that make me come off as like some huge Candiace fan or some huge, Wendy fan or stuff like that. Because the way, like I said before, that people try to connect dots that are literally in two different, like one dot is in the Milky Way galaxy, and then the other dot is in the next galaxy that is 3 million light years away from us. They try to connect those two dots. And I'm just simply the one that's here telling you, and I don't get disrespectful or anything like that. I'm simply here to tell you that those two dots don't connect. They're not the same. Like, the cord is bunched up here. Like, we got to go back to the drawing board. So it's really those types of people that make me come off as the way I do, because I can't side with stupid and crazy, and yeah, I just can't. And it sucks too, and I noticed that in this scene, like, I was like, wait, these are two women, I would say around the same age, y'all, but do we figure out how old Aneka is? Remember, she has said that she was 35, and then she has said she was 40, like, all in the same, like, 1 or 2 episodes earlier in the season. Yeah, still don't know about that, but let me throw up the air quotes. Two women of color that are around the same age, that are both going at different, they're at different points in their fertility journeys, but they're going through, a fertility journey nonetheless. They probably have so much things they could talk about and connect over during this time, but Aneka had to come up here like a hater ass fan and kind of just mess that all up, if you ask me. And it really, really sucks. It really does. Seeing this type of behavior, between them and like what goes on in the show, because it could be so much better. And I'm at the point, and I said it earlier actually, and shout outs to Rodney the Voice. I was in his live earlier when he was talking about stuff, and I said in there, I was like, you know what they need to do? They need to just separate this into 2 shows. They need to just bring back the actual Real Housewives of DC. They need to do a reboot. They need to kick all these mean heifers that are on this show. They need to kick them on over to there. And they could do their own thing. They could run amok. They could be mean. They could do whatever. I mean, we all know what's really going to happen. We know that none of them are going to be able to carry that show, the way it's supposed to be carried, if you ask me. And by the mean heifers, I mean, Mia can carry her ass over there. Gizelle, of course, the Green Eye Bandits, Gizelle, Robyn, Ashley, Sharice, Aneka, all of Ashley's friends. Like, they could all go over there and have a good old time. And then we could stay on over here in Potomac with the, Candiace and Wendy, and bring on some other people that mesh well with their personalities. Let's just make these into 2 separate shows so we don't have to keep having these arguments every week over this show. It's clear that they're never going to all get on the same page. It's clear that there is some huge vendettas against certain people that are unwarranted, in my opinion. Some are warranted. Some are definitely warranted, but a lot of them are unwarranted. There is unfair behavior, unfair treatment, and it's just not fun to always watch. Why did I say always? It's just not fun to watch right now. So, yeah, that's my recommendation. Just make it into 2 shows. You know how they got Beverly Hills. I mean, granted, California is a way bigger state, way bigger, area than the DMV. But if, we got Beverly Hills, we got Orange County, those still technically are not that far from each other, then there's no reason why we can't just have 2 shows. And they go over there, like I said, and then they be over here, and we'll keep it moving. And I didn't say Karen, but I feel like Karen would want to be over here, with Candiace and Wendy, but she probably would just bounce back and forth between the 2. This is never gonna happen, y'all, I know, but it should. The last scene we get is the Karen's Pave event. She had asked the women earlier on in the show. We got a clip of her asking them to bring their gently used business attire. And I was like, well, I don't even know why you asked Gizelle, because, oh gosh. So they all had brought, some of their gently used items, which was cool. But even prior to getting to the event, I should have said that we had this little snippet of Mia, who was getting ready, and she was talking about how she was having such bad anxiety. This is a sensitive topic for her. The topic of SA is, sensitive to her. And yeah, she probably shouldn't be going, but she's trying to push through or whatever. So we kind of already know that, what's going to happen? Like, is she going to be good? Like, what's going to happen? And so that's why when we got to the venue or whatever, she still kind of had a little bit of that energy on her from the get-go, if you ask me, which I understood now. I understand now, looking back on, obviously, the episode. Karen, I need your purple suit, first of all. Let's just get that out the way. Yeah, thank you. I will take that. And Karen don't play about her pave events, which I fully respect. I think that is a great organization and a great thing. And I'm glad that she is passionate about it and isn't about to let anybody mess up this lunch. We saw Kiana. She was there. We haven't seen her since, earlier episodes. So it was nice, seeing her. Karen, like I said before, she's glad that everybody was able to put their BS aside and show up for her. And I mean, in the end, no one had, there was no blow-ups or anything like that. So overall, thankfully, it was a good event. But Karen gives her speech. The founder had spoken. And once that all wrapped up, we got, some live music. We got a performance by a singer. She had her guitar and everything, and she was doing her performance, and all the ladies there around the table, and all of a sudden Mia, well, actually even before that, we kind of had a moment where we went around with all of the ladies, and they some of them divulged that who has been in those situations and stuff before. Some of them, you know, they were very transparent in this moment. And these are the types of moments although it's a sensitive subject, although I wish it wasn't a subject, because no one should ever violate anyone else in those ways. I still appreciated seeing this more than I did the 90% of the other BS that we see on the show. So it was nice to see them speaking on that. Gizelle, I feel like she could have kept her mouth shut, though. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, because yeah, she I just don't want certain people to speak on certain subjects. I just don't. But yes, Mia gets up and she's still mic'd, of course, so we hear her kind of like sniffling and stuff. She was crying, and she goes into the bathroom, and she's gone for a second, and then Ashley gets up and goes to check on her, and she's like, you know, are you good? Are you okay? Like, what's up? She's like, yeah, I'm good. And then and then she starts, you know, to divulge like her feelings about the situation, and she lets us know that at one point in time, she was left alone in a situation and then she was, you know, she was violated. She was violated. Her person was violated, and the person who did that was the ex-boyfriend, that is the ex-boyfriend of Jacqueline. Y'all remember Jacqueline? We got her last season. She was a friend of Mia. We have not seen any more of Jacqueline, because if you watch last season, then you know that they had like a very, very tumultuous season. They fell out, and a lot transpired on social media after that, and it got really ugly and nasty. And I remember that made me look at Mia in a different light, amongst other things. Mia has made me look at her in a different light because of a lot of different reasons, but this was a huge one for me last season. So you guys I don't feel remiss in saying that in this moment, I am not discrediting Mia at all. Hey Yvette, how are you this evening? Hi. Good to see you. But y'all, it was just a lot for me to take in that moment when she said that, just being as though I watched last season, and the way she was coming at her and stuff, like it was a lot to watch in those moments. And I say that because when she first initially introduced Jacqueline, she was like, this was her best friend for however many years, like they go way back. She was living on her at one point, like they was supposed to be like basically sisters. But then as soon as Mia said that, every follow-on action showed us that they wasn't really sisters. At least they not the type of sisters that I got and the types of sisterhoods I have, because you will never I mean, honestly, me and my sisters, I mean, we're grown now, so I mean, I guess that plays a part into it, but we don't really argue anyway. But even when we were younger, I have never taken it as low as Mia was serving it up to Jacqueline last season. I've never done that before to my sisters. So it was just like, no, don't apologize. I said in the beginning, this is super impromptu and random, but I didn't want to keep y'all waiting for another day. And I felt like talking. I did. So yeah, I appreciate you nonetheless, Yvette. You always come through. But yeah, like how did y'all feel when Mia said, if you watch the episode, how did y'all feel when she said that? Like, I don't know. I was torn. And I hate that I felt torn, but it was just the way she was coming at her last season. I mean, I get it. I get it, the way she explained it, but it was more so the way that Mia has showed up and the characteristics that she showed us in other situations have made me be like, okay, no, that's just the person she is. So I just took last season as that being in line with the person she has always showed us to be. So fast forwarding to now, to her saying this last night, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it was just like, I don't know who's the real Mia. Will the real Mia please stand up? Because I don't know. I don't know how to take her. I don't know whether to sympathize. I don't know whether to turn my eyebrows up. I don't know. She's just shown us so many different people that I never know when she's telling the truth or not. I'm sorry. Those are just my thoughts, y'all. And again, I'm not saying, well, I'm not gonna say telling the truth. Like, I feel like, yes, that's her story and everything, but it's just the way that she presented it was just like, I don't know. It was. You haven't watched it yet? You bet. That's okay. That's okay. It's I can understand. It honestly, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back right now, but I feel like, you know, my videos have been better than the last couple episodes, to be honest with you. So I get it. But yeah, Gizelle picks the brain of the founder of PAVE on behalf of Grace. I don't even want to talk about that because yeah. Yeah, y'all, that was pretty much it for this episode. Actually, I was up here we were almost at an hour, 51 minutes. I was up here longer than I thought. So shout outs to me. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my commentary. What time is it? I'm gonna actually go get something to drink real quick, and then I am going to come right back with my Married to Medicine video, actually, since, you know, we're at it. Why don't we? I appreciate you guys for being here, and shout outs to anybody who's going to catch this on the playback. Don't forget, y'all, to like the video. Let's keep the comments going in the comment section. Make sure you are checking the description box. Make sure, you know, you're subscribed. Make sure all of the things. Make sure of them. But yeah, I will get off here real quick, and I'll be right back if anybody is interested in catching my Married to Medicine review. Thank you, guys. Bye.